So, you've decided you want to learn German. Awesome. But then comes that big, overwhelming question, where do you even start? Well, if you've ever felt a little lost, this is for you. We're going to break down the official roadmap for beginners, step by step, to give you a super clear path forward. Let's dive in. You know, learning a new language can feel like staring up at a gigantic mountain. It's like you've got all these new words, totally strange grammar, sounds you've never made before, and it is so easy to feel overwhelmed and just think, wow, where do I even begin with this? A really great way to think about this is the iceberg analogy. Imagine total German fluency is the entire iceberg. Now, most of it, all that complex B and C level stuff, that's hidden way down under the water. But the part you can see, the tip of the iceberg you can actually reach out and conquer first, that's the A1 level. It's the solid, visible foundation for everything else you're going to build on top of it. So let's talk about the actual roadmap. See, A1 isn't just some random starting point someone made up. It's the internationally recognized first step. And that's great for us because it gives us a clear destination and a defined path for how to get there. But what does A1 even mean, really? Well, the official definition is all about practical, real-world stuff. You're not expected to be discussing philosophy, not at all. The goal is just to handle simple, concrete situations. You know, things like ordering a coffee, asking for directions, or just introducing yourself. It's all about navigating daily life. And here's the best part. The key takeaway, this first step is so achievable. Get this, most learners can reach A1 proficiency in just 40 to 50 hours of focus study. We're not talking years here. For most people, that's just 1 to 3 months to build a really solid foundation. Now, a huge piece of the puzzle at A1 is just training your ear. The specific goal here is to be able to understand someone speaking at about 80 words per minute, or even a little slower. Just for context, a native speaker can easily hit 150. So this level is all about tuning your brain into clear, deliberate speech. And what about vocabulary? Is there a target number? Yes, there is. The magic number here is 500. The goal is to learn 500 core, high-frequency words. And these aren't just random words. They are the absolute essential building blocks you'll use in pretty much every basic conversation. And this is where it gets really, really cool. Just look at how this scales up. It basically follows what's called the rule of 2. The vocabulary you need roughly doubles with each level you climb. 500 words for A1, 1,000 for A2, 2,000 for B1, and so on. It just goes to show you how absolutely crucial mastering that first 500 really is for the entire journey ahead. All right, so those first 500 words, let's dig in. How in the world do you pick them? Well, the strategy is all about focusing on high-frequency vocabulary. These are the words that give you the most bang for your buck in any daily conversation. This means we're zeroing in on specific categories. You need those workhorse verbs like to be and to have, the most common nouns for people, places, things, the essential adjectives, personal pronouns, and of course the question words, who, what, where, because you got to be able to ask for information, right? Okay, so once you've got some words, you need the grammar to string them together. Think of A1 grammar less like a chore and more like the basic instruction manual. You know, the rules of the game you need to know before you can start playing. And if there is one rule you walk away with today, it's got to be this one, the V2 rule. In a simple German sentence, the verb is always in the second position. Ich lerne Deutsch. Subject, verb, object. That verb is like the anchor holding down position number 2. You master this, and your sentences will instantly sound way more authentic. Trust me. Next up, the infamous German cases. But don't worry. The good news is, at A1, you really only need to think about 2 of them, nominative and accusative. The nominative is just the subject, the one doing the action. Der Hund läuft. The dog is running. Simple enough. The accusative is the direct object, the one receiving the action. Ich sehe den Hund. I see the dog. See that? How der flips to den? That little change is the case system at work. That's it. So, we know what to learn, but how do you actually make it stick? This isn't about practicing hard, it's about practicing smart. So let's break down a few techniques that are proven to work. First things first, stop just rereading your notes, seriously. The most effective learners use 2 little brain hacks, active recall and spaced repetition. Active recall is forcing your brain to pull out information, think flashcards. And spaced repetition is just reviewing that info at specific increasing intervals. These are scientifically proven ways to burn knowledge into your long-term memory. For listening practice, you gotta try the multi-pass method. The first time you listen to something, don't stress. Just aim for the general idea. The gist of it. On the second pass, listen again, but this time focus on details and maybe jot down some new words. And then, on the third pass, you shadow the speaker by repeating what they say out loud. This trains your ears and your mouth at the same time. It's a game changer. And let's talk subtitles. They can be an amazing tool, but they can also be a crutch. The key is to use them strategically. When you're a total beginner, start with subtitles in your native language. But as you get better, switch to German subtitles. The goal is to eventually only glance down when you miss something, and then, finally, the big moment, turning them off completely. All right, now for the payoff. This is the fun part. This is where the vocabulary, the grammar, and all that practice, this is where it all comes together. Your very first conversation. And it starts so simply, doesn't it? A polite greeting, Guten Tag, an introduction, Ich heiße. This is the key that unlocks the door to basically any conversation and just signals to someone that you want to connect. Now, this next one, this might just be the most useful golden phrase you learn at A1. Ich spreche ein wenig Deutsch. I speak a little German. It perfectly manages expectations. It tells the other person you're learning, so they'll almost always slow down and be a little more patient with you. And here is where you see the real-world power of A1 German. Was kostet das? How much does this cost? A super simple question that lets you actually function on your own in a shop or a market. This is exactly what satisfying those concrete needs is all about. So what does this all add up to? It means that after mastering A1, you are officially functional. You're not fluent, no, but you are independent. You can handle the most common daily situations. You can introduce yourself, order food, ask for directions, and have those first simple but incredibly rewarding interactions. And there you have it. That's the complete A1 roadmap. You know the time commitment, you've got the vocabulary count, you know the core grammar, and you have the best ways to practice. The path is all laid out for you. So the only question left is, what's your first German conversation going to be about?